Hello everybody, excuse my disheveled appearance. I forgot that I was going to film this after running my errands, so I had already started getting cozy, ripped off the lashes, so disregard. But anyways, I'm here to update y'all on my whole Vulvodynia, vagina pain, chronic health issue. As you can see, I'm quite comfortable talking about it. Yeah, so sorry that this took me so long to make. I was finishing up school and then the world went to shit, and that's where we're at. But school is done, we're at home, and it's time to update. So let's just get into it. So if you're really confused as to what I'm talking about, I will link the first part of this kind of a series down below. Yeah, vulvodynia, pain of the vulva. Been dealing with it for 4 years. Recently saw a specialist in February, and I'm just gonna update you guys on my progress and let me fix lighting and how I'm doing and all. So let's get into it. So I went to go see Dr. Andrea Rapkin through UCLA Health, and she's actually a gynecologist who specializes in vulvodynia, and I had that appointment back in February. I think prior to that, I was as I described in the last video, I would have probably one good week out of the month, so it would be the week leading up to my period, I would be getting pain, and then my period would be really painful, and then it would ease out the week after my period, leaving me with one golden week, which was a roller coaster of emotions, as you guys saw. I was very depressed and just very unmotivated towards life, and not liking doing makeup. I basically fell off the face of the earth, the makeup earth, during that time. And I would say the last 1 to 1.5 years was probably the worst of my condition. But we have good news. So I would say, as I am right now, I would say that I am anywhere between 95 to 98% recovered. Woo! So basically, my vagina doesn't preoccupy my mind every second of every day, which is amazing. My life has improved by 200%, and I just feel a lot better. So let's go talk about my trip to the specialist. So when I went to go see Dr. Rapkin, we took about the majority of the appointment was us talking about my medical history. I came in with a big old packet, prepared with my triggers for pain and my ratings of pain based on the times of my cycle, during penetration, all that fun stuff. And yeah, just kind of fleshed out that whole thing. And then when we got to the examination, she said that my tissue didn't look as hormonally deficient, which actually that might have been my other doctor. I don't know, but my tissue was recovering because I had been doing the estrogen testosterone cream, and then I had actually recently switched to estrogen only, which I will get into later when we get more into treatment. And then, so we did this really fun thing called the Q-tip test. So imagine that this is a Q-tip, see your vulva, and then they press at 6 o'clock and then 12 o'clock, that whole thing. And at that time, I thought I was improving, The Q-tip test was a rude awakening, ladies. So at 12 o'clock, I would remember it was about a 6 to a 7, I jumped in pain. And then the other areas were 4 to 5s, 3 to 5s, probably around that area. So yeah, that kind of was a little discouraging because I was ooh, I thought I was doing better than that, but that shit hurted. Yeah, so basically leaving that appointment. Oh, and then she checked my pelvic floor. So your pelvic floor is the contraction and relaxation, that whole thing, that what you relax when you do Kegels. Yeah, so she checked my pelvic floor, and the girl was very tight, and so she had me clench and then like relax. I'm really good at clenching. I just can't relax like at all. So she's like, okay, so I think you would benefit from physical therapy and continuing your hormone replacement like cream and continuing your amitriptyline, which I can't remember. I believe my gynecologist before Dr. Rapkin, like my main gynecologist, put me on that, which I'll get into more during treatment. So she said to continue that and to do like pelvic floor therapy. Basically, you go to a pelvic floor therapist and they like basically massage your muscles and help you learn and retrain your muscles how to relax down there. And the thing is, I've looked into pelvic floor therapy a couple of times, like throughout my own research and stuff, because I thought like maybe that would be helpful, but it is very expensive. And like, I believe when I looked, it was like $200 a session, and I believe your insurance can cover part of it, but like you have to pay it up front and then you have to like do the whole reimbursement thing, and it was a lot of hassle. And I think she wanted me to go 2 to 3 times a week, or like 1 to 3 times a week, which that would have been a lot of money. Girl was in school still, did not have the time. So I was like, okay, maybe during spring quarter when things like chill out. I thought. Anyways, so, and then she sent me like this mindfulness like course to do, which I have not done yet, but I will be doing. I do meditate, but yeah, moving on. So that was kind of that, and I left feeling pretty optimistic because, you know, she knew what she was talking about. And then we had kind of talked about the cause. So birth control for me is what caused this whole mess, despite what many a doctor tried to tell me in the past. So what I learned from this was kind of confirmed by her, but I had like read about this before. So basically there is something called sex hormone binding globulin. So that is a protein in your blood, and with some people, birth control pills or like hormonal birth control, whatever form that may be for you, it can increase this protein SHBG. I'm reading this off, I don't know this off the top of my head. And this can decrease the level of estrogen and testosterone in the vulvar tissue, which can cause the tissue to be dry and painful with penetration or sitting in my case, or just walking in my case, or just living in my case, which is essentially what had happened to me. Like I said before, my vulvar tissue basically thought it was like premenopausal. I am now 22. This started when I was 18. I think you guys can do the math and figure out that I shouldn't be having those issues at my age. So that little chunk of information describes exactly what the heck happened to me. And it's kind of frustrating to think, because like all I had to do was stop. I mean, that wasn't all I had to do, but like, you know, that was like a big part of it in my recovery. So that was basically what happened to me. And she also said, like, since my tissue didn't look hormonally deficient anymore because of the cream I had been using, she said that the pain I was experiencing was most likely like residual pain, and with time it should improve and like continuation of my treatments. So that was back in February. Fast forward, we'll go through the months. So in terms of treatment, I'll tell you what I've been doing. So I've been taking, I'm gonna cover my info, amitriptyline. I take 20 milligrams a night, and that's basically, I believe it's an antidepressant, but in low doses it's used for nerve pain. And so I take that every night, and that's supposed to just like chill my nerves out. I will say recently I haven't been like that consistent with it. I've like been on and off just because like these things knock me the heck out. Like I'm supposed to take it by 8, and if I don't take it by 8, like right now it's 10 and I still haven't taken it. Anyway, so if I take them kind of late like I am now, like I will sleep for like 10 to 11 hours easily. And the thing is, like, it still happens if I take it earlier in the day. It's just that, you know, I fall asleep at a more reasonable time and I wake up at a semi-reasonable time still when I take it. But yeah, if I take it like at 1 a.m., like how sometimes I would after doing homework and stuff during the school year, I would be so groggy, like best sleep of my life, but so exhausted. But yeah, so that's for the nerve pain. As for supplements that I have been taking, like just based off my own research, I was taking maca root. I don't take that anymore just because I feel like it didn't really do much for me. I would say the most important thing for me has been DMD, which supports healthy estrogen metabolism. And I believe like DIM is like the estrogen thing, and like the D, the vitamin D in there, is supposed to like assist it. Once again, I don't know. I still have to take this one too. I don't know how effective these supplements have been, but I mean, I'm feeling better. So I have been slacking this past week because it's just been a little hectic. But yeah, and then I also take Renew Life, the Ultimate Flora Probiotic Women's Care. I feel like these are just good to take regardless, which I also need to take these too. I am so bad. Usually I take these in the morning. I haven't been that consistent. And then I take, finally, calcium citrate, which, I'll be honest, I don't really know exactly off the top of my head what this does. I remember I read it in an article like 1 year ago when I was looking for supplements to help with like balancing of hormones. Yeah. DMD, I take 1 capsule a day, probiotic 1 capsule a day, and then these are supposed to take 2 capsules 2 times a day, which I haven't taken them at all, so I'm just gonna take them all now. But like I said, usually I would be on a better schedule. I haven't been taking my medication this past week, and like I felt pretty fine. Maybe like at a pain of a 0.5 or like a 1, but like nothing where I want to cry myself to sleep, which is great. Yeah, let me take these last ones. So, sorry, it's shaking. All right, so those are the supplements I take. Oh, and then like the most important thing is my estrogen testosterone cream. Let me go grab that. So this has probably been the most important part of my recovery. This is estradiol and testosterone, a compound cream. Only thing about this is this tube lasts a month, about a month, and it costs $70. So yeah, as you can see, you can probably deduce why I was slacking on this, because it was expensive. So my Thea is actually a gynecologist in Ecuador, and she sent over some estrogen only like creams from there. So I was using that, and like they were helping, but there's definitely, I see so much more of an improvement with the compound cream of estrogen. Estradiol and testosterone. Choking on spit. So we just got a shell at the $70 a month, and that's fine because I have my life back. Okay, so finally, I won't show them on camera because I'm pretty sure YouTube would take down this video or demonetize it. No, I'm not monetized. Kidding. They would probably just like, I don't know, do something. But I also use these Cal Exotics dilators. They're silicone dilators. Someone on Instagram, one of my Vulvodynia pals on there, recommended them to me, and I bought them, and they're amazing. So basically what you do with dilators, since I can't like feasibly go to pelvic floor therapy right now because of coronavirus, and 2, it's just really expensive. They're essentially, they look like, and they increase in size. So like you have one that's like maybe this size, and then like one like that size, and then they like get thicker and longer. And what you do with those, you just like lube it up, stick it up there, and you just kind of chill. And you're supposed to do this gradually and like be very relaxed while you're doing it. You're just supposed to kind of just like get used to the feeling of it being there, so your muscles like can relax. Because for me, after having so many years of pain, basically like I just had trauma associated with like examinations or intercourse, so hence the clench. So that's supposed to help like relax me. I will say I haven't been doing that consistently but I'm definitely going to because I'm like so close to feeling like 100% better. So now that I have all the time in the world, I will definitely be reading and dilating. Woo! I will leave the link down below because dilators can be really expensive, and usually they're like these uncomfortable plastic ones, but these ones are so nice. They're like soft touch silicone. Really good, really good. I also have a CBD lube that I use. No, I wouldn't say that I use it consistently. It's from Foria. It's quite expensive. Like I said, I haven't been dilating regularly, so I haven't been using that. So I won't say that it like is the, holy grail to feeling better if you're dealing with this condition, or to making dilating easier, because honestly I don't have the background to say that because I just haven't used it enough. So maybe I will check in if there's a part 3, if anyone wants a part 3. And then I asked if anyone had any questions on the Reddit thread that I'm a part of, or the subreddit that I'm a part of. Oh, someone asked me if I found an alternate contraception or birth control, besides, the ones I had already tried, which was NuvaRing. Well, first the pill, which is Cosel. Next one, terrible. NuvaRing, slightly better, but then went terrible. And then low estrogen free, the absolute worst. Ruined my life. So yeah, I basically tried all of the forms except the patch, the shot, and the IUD. And quite honestly, I am not interested in trying them at the moment. I don't think I'll ever be interested in or comfortable with trying another hormonal birth control. If I were to ever do like another form of contraception besides condoms, it would probably be the copper IUD. But even then, I'm still kind of wary. I don't know. I just feel like again, this is my own personal experience. I'm sure, there are people that have these forms of birth control and they're amazing for them. But my body is quite sensitive and finicky when it comes to like birth control, as we all know. So I just don't want to kind of mess up what I've got going. So I think I'm just going to stick to good old, well, non-latex condoms for now. I don't know. I have heard that the hormonal IUD, because it's like more of a centralized like place and it's like not throughout your whole body or whatever, that it won't cause issues. I just personally, from what I've read on subreddits and like women that have, dealt with what I'm dealing with, they've had, similar symptoms happen with that. So I just personally don't feel comfortable. I don't know if I want to do the copper IUD either, because I feel like that has its own slew of things, and I'm tired of that whole thing, and I'm kind of traumatized by it. So no. To answer the question, I have not found a different contraception form besides condoms. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, people are asking about the nerve meds. I will say they have helped me, and if they haven't helped me and it's all placebo, I get the best sleep. I already went over my medication and supplements. Yes, okay. Alrighty. So, moving on to my second update appointment. So as I was doing this, I found that like, as time went on, the whole like week of pain leading up to my period, really painful week during my period, and then like the kind of phasing out, that seemed to go away. Like this last cycle and the cycle before that, I would say that I did not notice a change, like a significant change where I was like, oh my god, like I'm sad. Because like I would get very, 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 very depressed and like just sit on the couch for hours when it came time for my period to come, because I would just be in so much pain. And then that would cause a lot of emotional distress, and I can honestly say that I haven't had that happen in the past, let's see, like 3 to 4 months. I would say the last time it happened was probably back in February, right after the appointment. Around that time I had a flare-up, or it might have been early March. Yeah, I don't know. Late February, early March was the last flare-up I had. But ever since then, I haven't been able to like predict my period based off the pain, because before I would be like, oh shit, it's coming, because I was in so much pain. Yeah, I will say like I'm chilling. And it makes me very happy. I'm straight cheesing right now because I never freaking thought that I would get here. Like, after 4 years, you kind of, and like multiple doctor's appointments, you kind of just give up, even though you don't want to and you know you really can't. Like, mentally, you kind of just start checking out and you're like, well, this is it. Yeah, I'm gonna cry and I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just very, 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 very thankful that I was able to advocate for myself and like get through that, because it was freaking hard, you know. I don't think anyone will ever know like how much of a toll it took on me, and you know, I don't think you can really understand it unless you've gone through it. Yeah, so periods have been normal, chilling, like not in terrible pain. If anything, like maybe 0.5 to 1, but honestly, like I can't even remember like pre Vulvodynia life, so maybe that was like what it already was like, and I just can't remember because like I'm just like so hyper aware of like how I feel, you know. Does it make sense? I don't know, it might not make sense, but I'm like so hyper aware of how I feel, like maybe I'm just like more cognizant of it because I'm just so conditioned to like be very like self-aware and monitoring of how I'm feeling, you know, down there during that time. But yeah, like nothing that interrupts my life or makes me want to crawl in a ball. So yeah, that was kind of how it was going. And honestly, I debated, okay, so sorry, this is all leading to my second check-in with Dr. Rapkin, which was, what is today? It was on June 24th or 25th, June 25th, which was 2 days ago. So I was honestly debating on just canceling the appointment because I felt like I was doing pretty well. And honestly, I didn't feel like going down there. But I was like, you know what? Let me just go see, you know, what's up, like see what my progress has been. And yeah, so I went, and we didn't really like do as long of a check-in, but we did do a little check-in. She asked me like, how are you feeling? Like, are you able to have intercourse? And I told her yes. Like, if anything, I maybe have mild soreness, like very, very mild soreness, but it's nothing, like I said, that makes me like very upset and like cry myself to sleep, which would be the case before. I'm enjoying my life. And then she asked, because I had an issue, I don't know if I mentioned this last video, I had an issue with urinary frequency. Like, there would be these weeks at a time where I would just like feel like I had to pee when I didn't really have to pee. And that was because I mean, I wasn't sure if it was like a UTI, which it wasn't. I learned and I like kind of deduced that it was my pelvic floor. So basically, when your pelvic floor is kind of out of whack, it affects like a whole bunch of things, you know. So it kind of like tricks you into thinking you have to pee when you really don't, because you're just kind of like all over the place with your muscles. She asked how that was, and I hadn't had an episode of that like since I had last seen her. And then she just asked like about how my periods were, and I told her what I just told y'all, like pretty standard, pretty boring. And then she basically said, she's like, well, I don't see why we need this appointment, but we'll have it anyway. And I was like, stop, are you saying I graduated? But then we did the examination, and then I could like feel myself getting nervous for this part because the Q-tip test really hurt last time and I was very afraid. But when she was doing it, like I asked myself, like, did she poke me? Because I wasn't sure, because I couldn't really tell, and I was like, nope, I'm fine. And then like at the point where it was most painful, which was like right there at 12 o'clock, wait, I'm done. 6 o'clock, I'm sorry, 6 o'clock. I would say like, if anything, it was like a 0.5 to like a 1 in pain. Like I said, really not that big of a deal. And she's like, okay, cool. And then she said my vestibule looked fantastic, meaning that like my estrogen testosterone cream was helping. I told her that I felt that the inclusion of testosterone in my compound cream was very critical and vital in helping me recover. And she's like, yeah, because she's like, I think so too, because you know the birth control pills mess with your free testosterone levels, which I had the option to get that tested, but I didn't, because I just didn't feel the need, because I kind of like already knew what was going on, you know. So I feel like the estrogen testosterone combination was very critical, and like estrogen on its own just wouldn't have helped me as much as both did. And then she checked my pelvic floor. Yeah. So she was like, in short, she was like, are you consciously aware of how tight you are? And I was like, if you're gonna call me girly grip tight vagina, make sure to put Vulvodynia induced in front of it. Stupid. Birth control. Ruined my vagina and pelvic floor for 4 years. Yeah, I think. I said basically, I think it's like more of a mental thing. Like, I'm very nervous. Like, she's even checking in right now. I'm like, I can't really tell because I think I'm just so conditioned to being like clenched. Also, I'm just a very anxious person. I feel like I'm always very tense, including my vagine, apparently. So yeah, she's like, okay, well, yeah, do the mindfulness exercise. And I told her about the dilators, and she's like, yeah, you can do them in combination, which I'm going to try that out, meditating and dilating at the same time. I feel like that's more of just like a mental roadblock I have to get through, and really have to put my energy in as much as I do with my medications. So that is the next stepping stone in this road to recovery. So basically, yeah, my pelvic floor is still a little wonky. She said if I feel that I'm like super duper tight and like having issues with it, then I can like implore, is that even correct? Implore to do pelvic floor therapy. I'll edit that out. Then I can be pushed to do pelvic floor therapy if I feel like it. But she said that based on my progress, that dilating and the mindfulness should be perfect. And continuing my amitriptyline along with my estrogen testosterone cream. I didn't tell her much about my supplements because that's kind of like my thing. I didn't like feel the need. I don't know. They could be helping me. They could be placebo, but I'm gonna continue it because I just feel like I have a good thing going. And she said that we're looking good. So I don't think that I will be needing another appointment with her. I'm very grateful to her. I don't think she knows how grateful I am to her. And also my other gynecologist, I'm very grateful for her too. If you happen to be in the LA area or SoCal area and you are experiencing similar issues, Dr. Rapkin through UCLA Health is your girl. I will put her name and info down there, just in case you guys want to reach out and, try to see her. So yeah, that's where we're at, y'all. We're doing a lot better. I just want to say thank you to everyone who messaged me and prayed for me and just was so nice about this. I know that this isn't like the coolest topic to talk about, but honestly, I don't care. Like, I feel like this is such a taboo topic for no reason, and it's honestly doing a lot more harm than good with me, like, if we don't talk about it, I've had so many people reach out to me with the same issues, and like they never knew that it even had a name to it, or they thought they were alone, and like that's definitely how I felt too. Like, I thought I was broken. I was like, okay, there's no one my age that is experiencing this, because like, what the hell. But my OG gynecologist, like the one I usually see, she told me that my age group, which I think around like 18, it might be even 16, well, like 18, early 20s, experiences this issue a lot of like pain with penetration. And it's because, we're the people taking the birth control because we're not trying to have these kids, but it's just a very underdeveloped area of study in gynecology. So I hope that as like more people speak up, that we will get more research here and people will be more informed of this possible side effect. Like I said before, this doesn't happen to everyone, but it does happen to people. And I feel like continuing to tell women or people with vaginas that like, yeah, it's all in your head, try lube, or like just dismissing and invalidating their concerns of pain because of birth control, it infuriates me, because like it's just the worst feeling to feel like you're in so much pain and no one wants to listen to you or take you seriously, you know? So I will gladly speak about my vagina till the day I die. I do not care. So if you ever want to message me, feel free to. I am always trying to like get back as quickly as possible. Usually my messages are pretty long, so it might take me a little bit of time to get back to you, but I will get back to you eventually. Yeah, I guess closing thoughts. Okay, so I guess I'll summarize what I usually like tell people that message me. The pain is not all in your head. Your pain is valid. You're not alone, and you will get through it. I feel like those are the things I needed to hear when I was kind of going through the worst of it. And I'm sending you a big old hug. Also, I guess just some other advice in terms of like pelvic floor health and such. So if you feel like you are experiencing pain with penetration, please do not force yourself to have penetrative sex if it is painful. Like, I know that you can feel some kind of guilt because you're not performing or whatever, but like, F that, because I'm telling you, the mental trauma and like pelvic floor mess that comes along with it is difficult to work through, and it's really draining and exhausting. Yeah, hence why I am, you know, always so like tense, because it's just kind of like a natural response for me at this point, and I'm gonna work through it, and I know I can get through it, but do not put yourself through pain just to try and please someone else. And if you're worried that, you know, your partner won't love you or whatever, then screw that person, because they need to emotionally validate you and like, you know, want the best for your physical health, you know, and that includes just being understanding. And there are just so many other forms of intimacy that you can embark on. Like, penetrative sex is not the end all be all, you know. I know it feels that way when you're younger, but that's not true. And if you want more, I guess, reading on that, or like someone who speaks on that a lot, I would suggest following Laura. I believe it's Laura, or it's Laura. I believe it's Laura though. Laura E. Parker. I will link that down below on Instagram. I don't know if she still works for BuzzFeed, but I know that she would write a lot of articles for BuzzFeed regarding her struggle with Vulvodynia, and I believe endometriosis is like her primary diagnosis that like kind of leads to her other conditions. But she is a fantastic vaginal health advocate, and like, yeah, her articles help me a lot, and she's actually coming out with a book, which I am very excited to pre-order and read. So I believe that is all, y'all. I will be answering questions down below, and once again, I just want to thank you guys so much. I am so grateful to God, the universe, and just everyone and the doctors that did listen to me and my support system, because I really could not have, you know, done it on my own. And yeah, we're on the other side, y'all. All right, I'll probably, I don't know, I guess I'll make another update video in a couple months if y'all want it, or if anybody wants it, or you can DM me. Yeah, all right. I will actually be making makeup videos soon, I swear. I forgot that this is a makeup channel. Okay. All right, love y'all. Stay safe. Black Lives Matter. Oh yeah, Black Lives Matter. Okay, I feel like I need to include that. So if you can help out in any way, whether it be through donating, petitioning, what's the other one? Protesting, please do. And stay safe while doing so. Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys later.